think we're live. Where is the microphone? You see the microphone? Oh, look, we're on. You see the microphone anywhere?
Yeah, right beside Anthony's where he was sitting.
Oh, there it is.
Right beside his table.
Can you put it on your phone and then check the audio levels? Testing. Testing. Testing.
Alright, I see the link.
Testing.
Yeah, there's just a slight delay from when you say it and when it's actually streamed.
Okay.
It's actually like.
Sorry guys, this is our first time live streaming, so we're just making sure the audio levels are right before we want to get started. Plus, it'll give us some time to wait for other members to join. Not members, or viewers I should say. And yeah, we'll get started shortly. I can hear myself like echo.
So I'm trying to turn it, but the camera's so still, bro. It didn't move.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wait, why is it
Yeah.
not moving? I just want to make sure it's.
Camera's so still, bro. It didn't move. Oh yeah. Why is it not moving? I just want to make sure it's. Camera's so still, bro.
I'll use the microphone here. It's not connection. It's running audio.
I'm just trying to align the video.
Stevie Play says, what's going to be in this tank? Do you mean livestock or do you mean plants? Can't even spell Aquaria right now. Oh, there we go.
You got nervous, bro?
Steve
Alright,
asked you for
so for
livestock.
those of you guys who just joined, we're actually doing our live stream on YouTube. That's going to be the main camera. So if you guys have joined the link I just entered in the comments below, that'd be awesome. I'm just going to pin it for you guys. And yeah, we're going to be talking to that camera for the most part, but if you guys want to stay here, that's cool too. Totally up to you guys. If you guys are commenting, I won't be able to see this camera. If you guys again want to participate in the audience, make sure to go on the YouTube channel. I linked it in the comments again. And yeah, I'll see you guys over on that side.
Are we on Instagram? That's it?
Yeah, we're on Instagram.
Yo, what up?
Steve asked you for livestock.
Livestock. We haven't decided yet on which livestock we want to use. That's really up to Anthony, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit more later on too.
Oh, people are in.
But for sure, like nano fish. I think this guy's favorite fish is Celestial Pearl Daniels, so we might throw some of those guys in there for sure.
Galaxies are cool.
Those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably some Odosynclus and some cleaner fish for the most part, right?
Anything small, essentially.
Yeah, small fish, yeah. But we are getting a huge shipment on Thursday, so hopefully some exciting fish will be in, and then we can add them in there by that time. But I think you're also using soil, so we need to fully cycle this tank
Yeah.
before we add fish. So we won't be able to add livestock in this tank for about 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah.
At least until everything settles in, right, and do all the water changes.
Then the plants should be a little bit grown in at least.
Yeah. We'll start in 4 minutes. Just give everyone time to come and view the channel.
Can everyone, can you see it?
Yeah, everyone can see that.
Cool, cool. Got some rocks here prepped. Placement.
You know, I'm gonna try turning off this one. My trend, can you just see if the audio from this is good enough?
Okay.
So just again, testing the audio, testing, 1, 2, 3. Escaping a 45U, UNS. United, no, not United, what am I saying? Ultum Nature Sysytems. Was the audio louder with the mic?
It's fine.
It's fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If anyone's having issues with the audio, just let us know in the comments and we'll try to fix it. Alright, so let's just make sure we have everything. Alright, so it's almost 9 o'clock. We'll just get ahead and start. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Tom from Planted Aquaria, and today I'm with Anthony. He's my social media manager. You can find him on Instagram at Buiscapes, Buiscapes. You're going to find a lot of his photography is really similar to our page now, and that's because he takes care of our page. And he's here today to scape our 45U. We have some stuff laid out in front of us, but I'm just going to talk about the equipment real quick before we get into the details and escape that Anthony's going to be doing. So, for this tank, this is a 9-gallon tank. So we're going to be using the Filter Smart Thermo 100 from Waze is how you should say their company name. And this guy is good up to 30 gallons, but we always want to oversize the filtration just because A, that's going to hold more bacteria, which is beneficial for the nitrogen cycle, and B, it just filters the water much more faster and clearer, right? So we also just got into Neoflows today, so if you guys follow us on our Instagram, you've probably seen that we pre-ordered these guys for about 2 weeks and haven't got them for quite some time since they were delayed. But I'm really excited. These guys came in today, so we're going to be setting these guys up so you guys can see exactly what the hype is about if you haven't seen it already. The lighting, we're using Twin Star. I believe I have the box somewhere. Can you get me the 45B box? Yep. So we decided to go for Twin Star 45B just because majority of the lights we use in our store right now are Chihiro's lighting, and we do want to demonstrate that there is other lightings out there or lights out there that do a great job in growing your plants. So Twin Star is what we went for today, and it's easy if you are shopping for rimless aquariums. Usually this tank is called a 45U, which ultimately means it's a 45 centimeter tank. You can get a Twin Star 45B, and that would fit right on there perfectly. You can put that back for me, sir. And what we don't sell, what I have here is a window film. I'm going to be tinting the back area with some frost just to give it a cleaner look. And yeah, I think ultimately it just looks much better when you don't see past behind the view, right? You want to give it focus on the aquarium itself in the front. So, last but not least, today we are going to be trying out Chihiro's Dr. Mate. It's basically an algae inhibitor. If you guys are struggling with algae, I do have some customers that I talked to. They swear by this guy. We're going to be setting up today, and I'll probably give you guys some feedback on it over the course of the next week on my social media. If you're not already following our Instagram, make sure to do that because usually I post on the daily. And yeah, that should be it for equipment. You want to run through the plants real quick, Anthony?
Yeah. So we are gonna have a few species planted today. You want me to film it?
Yeah. So Anthony chose out if I can see. Where's the other view? Oh.
Could everyone see it?
I can't see my camera anymore, so.
Yeah, we can see.
There you go. Okay, so this is Ultum Nature Reneki Mini. We have some Monte Carlo. Got bags of Java Fern ready. And we also have some plants in the cascade that we're going to be taking out.
You want to showcase this?
Sure. So this is Egeria densa. This is a beautiful stem plant, medium growing, and we're going to use it in the background area. You guys will see everything come together.
We also got some booze.
Squeeze it.
Actually, no, so
Oh yeah, well that's a pot. And now we have Bucephalandra, wavy green. These guys are going to go on the wood you'll see later. And we have some Bucephalandra red as well. Alright. Put that back. Cool. So you want to help me with the window film right now?
Yeah,
Or is
that's
it-
good.
Okay.
I'll open it. How easy was this to set up?
That's a bad idea too. The window film? It's pretty easy actually.
I've never set this before. Should we talk about this? So we're using rabbit goo window film.
I already said that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good? Alright.
So this is pretty easy. It's okay. We have. So if you guys never used this before, you pretty much just want to get a spray bottle of water, and you're gonna get a credit card or a squeegee. Essentially, you're gonna spray it with water, and then we're gonna put the window film on, and you're gonna you'll see us scrape out the water. So, I'll show you guys that right now. Can I get a credit card? I did use some, so we might have to just waste this one.
Thank you.
So hold it. I'm gonna get some scissors.
Sounds good.
Anyone have any questions? Hold it. If there's any questions for us, you can just read it out loud.
You were saying hi.
Hey,
What up?
you can read their name too, like Anthony Bowie says hi, you know? So, spray some more water just in case. Now I oversized my cut, that's because I'm going to have a razor blade and I'm going to trim it to how exactly or precise that we want it. Can you hold that corner out? Hold that out. Alright. Yep.
Basically a big screen protector.
Basically a big screen protector, but it's so much easier to apply this one with the water one. And make sure if you guys are buying something like this to buy the one that uses water to adhese.
Yeah, what's the side effect?
Asking, do you sell the frosted sticky paper?
We unfortunately don't sell the frosted sticky paper, but you can find it on Amazon. If I ever get the chance to bring in something like this to sell, then I would definitely will consider it.
Will you link the one that you purchased?
Yeah, can you do that actually? I'll have my Chen do that right now.
You know how people can't handle nails and chalkboard?
Oh yeah.
I actually can't tolerate that.
No?
Yeah, it's giving me goosebumps.
The nails?
It's this,
Like the chalkboard
that
type
yeah,
thing?
but like people like that doesn't bother me, but like this card and then this paper.
Oh, I see. You know what bothers me the most? It's when I'm dealing with frozen fish food, and when you're moving stuff in the fridge and the ice scrapes together, that just gets me, man.
That's so funny.
I can't.
I never heard of that one before.
Yeah, I know it's a
That's
first.
actually so funny.
So now I'm just gonna carefully cut. And honestly, take your time with this. You do not want to mess up. I feel like I'm getting off track already. Looks good, right?
Looks fun still. Yeah. Take your time. Move it, move it. It's good that there's that little border here.
Oh yeah. Where's the scissors I just used?
Should be some over here.
That's a very long link.
Very long link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon for you.
It won't let me actually send it because it's 436 characters. And
Oh, then just type in
the.
the Amazon name, at least.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it exactly at the top edge, you know?
Yeah.
But close enough is good, right?
Yeah. I'll flip this over. So you got the straight edge here on that side, and you got the misaligned stuff.
Okay, let me, I'll cut it and then we'll flip it the other way, yeah.
Reggie commented said, "Oh yo, what's up?"
What's
Yo,
going on, Richard?
What's up?
Nope.
How's everyone doing tonight? What is a good time to stream? Can everyone like just, is the volume good? Can everyone can hear?
That's up to my turn to figure out.
You'll have to be louder.
Louder? Okay.
Watch out, I don't want to cut you. I kind of got sloppy right there, but I'm gonna fix it. Make it a little bit straight, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's because it's falling from me. I didn't want to cut you. You know, the sides are fine because it's covered.
Yeah, it's good.
Caleb was watching earlier on IG. He says the volume is good. Reggie says
What
sound
up,
is
Caleb?
perfect.
Sick. Thank you guys.
Glad you guys could make it to the stream. Just focusing on not cutting myself here, you know?
Not so good on Instagram though, but amazing on YouTube.
Yeah, hopefully everyone, if you're still watching on Instagram, make sure to check the comments on YouTube, or sorry, the comments below. It's gonna direct you to our YouTube, and the audio level and everything is much better. I thought I cut this side.
Alright.
you guys can see the close-up, it's not the best cut ever.
No, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix this.
And if you guys are wondering why we're still wearing our masks, I don't see Anthony on a daily basis. So we're still under a little bit of heavy restrictions in Ontario, and we just want to respect that for a bit, you know?
Stay safe, everyone.
But if you guys miss my face,
That means you should do another solo YouTube video. to
I
show
will
your
do
face.
another YouTube video. I've just been so busy, you guys. I'm so sorry. But it's just me working at the store from Monday to Friday until my train gets here around 6 o'clock. And it doesn't really give me time right now, but hopefully we're going to be hiring in the next few months, and it'll give me some time to work on YouTube a little bit more. But hopefully this live stream makes up for it, though.
The top is aligned here.
Okay?
This one's a little bit.
You can just bring it down more. Here, lift everything.
We got
Just
a
take it all
Mr.
off.
Perfectionist.
Just lift everything completely. Okay. A little bit more on this side.
Alright, I didn't see it.
The water.
Sorry.
Oh, here, I'll pull
Well,
it.
that's it. Thank you. You good? Alright. Not bad. Not bad.
You have to chop off this a little bit.
That's okay.
Yeah, and you don't think it'll like lift.
Oh, I don't feel lift. I don't know. I hate this one, bro. Oof. Alright, you good?
That's it. Let me stay on my side. I did it at home and I still had a little bit of bubbles. Man, so mad.
Did you get rid of it?
I had to spray it again and redo it, but the bubbles are still there.
Alright, let's get all the bubbles out here then. I don't see bubbles.
I think we're good.
Okay. I don't see any bubbles.
Yeah. If we see bubbles, we can always fix it again later.
Sounds good.
This is on this side. Yeah. All right, step 1 is done, guys.
Alright, we
There
have
you go.
officially frosted the glass.
Yeah, let's flip it and see what it looks like. Oh yeah. What does that look like on camera?
But the light
Looking
looks
good.
pretty good. You
Looks
don't see the
good?
back
Yeah.
anymore.
Let me see. Not bad, not bad. I see Jay from Tank Nut. What up, Jay?
All right, let's get started on the hardscape.
Alright.
I'm gonna leave it most of it up to Anthony, but
Alright.
Vivian says it looks sick.
Hey, thank you for tuning in, Vivian. So this is the piece of wood that I've selected from Tom's shop.
I think that's Malaysian wood.
I thought this was a very interesting piece. For me, starting off with this scape, I wanted to find a very interesting centerpiece. And then I kind of work my way around that and design my scape around the centerpiece that I pick. This piece specifically, I chose it because of the holes inside, if you guys can see it. A lot of space for fish to kind of hide and swim through. I like it when my livestock interacts with the environment that I create for them. It makes it much more joyful, I would say, to enjoy my tank at home. So that's kind of my goal right now for this design. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and place it inside. I have already pre-scaped it ahead of time, and I found this placement here to be the most ideal. I don't want it to be too centered. I kind of want this piece of wood to kind of be angled a bit, because I'm also visualizing the side view of this tank for this design, because when it's placed over here later on, you're gonna have two viewing angles, the front and then this side here. Let me see how this looks.
I noticed you like to, your style is more like big pieces of wood, like oversized wood.
Yeah, I guess I never knew that was my aesthetic, because I'm pretty new to aquascaping. It's not something I've done for a very long time, but what appeals to me is the centerpiece. So when I go hunting for decor, I'm always looking for something that kind of stands out to me. Oh, I don't know if the camera, that.
Oh no, that doesn't,
cool? Okay,
yeah, that's
cool.
fine.
So I usually go around to like different shops and whatnot, and then I basically go hunting for the right piece. And I feel like when you're escaping, you need to take your time. I don't think you should ever feel rushed. There's been times where I've spent weeks to months to find that nice rock or a nice piece of wood. There's been occasions where I've bought wood and I ended up finding something better later on.
You never used it.
And I never used it, you know?
Yeah.
So it happens. At the end of the day, this tank is going to be set up for months, and it's something you're going to enjoy for a long time. And I guess it's important to take your time with it, instead of kind of like rushing to just find something just to fill up your tank, you know?
I also find in this hobby, you don't really, experience doesn't really come with like longevity or age, I should say. Like someone I've met for 5-6 years could be not as knowledgeable or not as into aquascaping, you know what I mean? Compared to someone who's been really into it for 2 years and actually invested the time to try to learn everything, right? So
So you have a question. Lawrence asked you, what's the size of the tank?
this tank is a 45U by UNS, and it's a 9-gallon.
So for the ones who are watching right now, what is going to be done is I've kind of aligned the wood a bit. It's kind of giving it a little diagonal. And based on what you guys see on the foreground, there's a nice little inner cave here that's going on with the piece of wood. We kind of want to, I guess, expand on that cave by creating a space around it. So the foreground here is going to be Monte Carlo. That's our carpet implant. So what I'm going to do now is place rocks in this area here to kind of separate what I'm going to put sand. Sorry, I'm going to separate the soil and the sand, where the sand is going to be underneath the wood.
So you're trying to do like a carpet in this area.
Carpet
right?
in the foreground, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of options here. Let me move this wood a bit more.
Can you do me a quick favor and just turn off the tank light?
Let's turn off the tank light.
I just want to see if you can see the detail of the wood and rock better, because it was so bright most of the top.
Yeah,
you do.
It's better?
It's a lot
Okay,
better.
See
so
better?
leave the light
Okay,
on for
alright.
now.
No worries. Can you guys see everything better? Everything good?
If there's any issues, just let us know. If you guys liked it before with the light on, just let us know
Yeah.
too.
Please let us know. This is our first live stream. Let's see. Alright. So I'm gonna select flat pieces of rocks. There's some big ones here that we broke earlier today. I don't want it to be too distracting. So I'm gonna try to find very thin pieces that we can place here. So what I'm doing is I'm placing the rock first to do the separation between the soil and the sand. And then I'm gonna lift this this centerpiece out, and then we're gonna fill in the soil and then build around that.
Justin agreed with me that it's a lot better without the light on.
Hey,
Nice.
all right. No lights it is.
What's going on, you guys? If you're only tuning on here from Instagram, make sure you follow the link that I pinned in the comments below. It'll lead to our YouTube channel. The audio level and everything is much better from there. You're going to see the tank view much larger in screen, and you can participate in the chat audience as well. So make sure you guys do that.
Sorry guys if I'm a little quiet, I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing right now. But
Art requires patience. Art also requires a little bit of peace and quiet. Here's some smoothie.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment.
I'm excited to see what's going to turn out. Did you already explain how you're adding the Monte Carlo here?
Oh no, I didn't yet.
Okay, so Anthony is actually going to add Monte Carlo. He's not going to plant it in the substrate. He's going to be adding it up here, and what he's going to do is allow it to grow down almost like a, not a carpet, what's that word? A curtain, right? And over time we're just going to trim it, so you're going to see kind of like hanging Monte Carlo like this. And I just love the aesthetic. This is just wood in general, how there's holes in it, right? The interaction with the fish, that's going to be sweet. Gotta make sure we don't get a fish that's gonna like cut themselves in one of these guys.
Oh, yeah.
I know some like people on YouTube that I've seen, they took like a filer and filed some of these guys down.
Oh,
but it really
okay.
depends on the fish that you decide to keep.
This wood does get softer in the water too.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying it won't cut the fish, but
Yeah.
it does soften up. And hopefully when the plants grow over,
Yeah.
it will make it a little
Yeah.
more safe for the fish.
So if you're also using any type of driftwood, you also want to boil it. We didn't get a chance to boil it because this piece is too big for any pots that I had at home. So what we did was just soaked it in hot water overnight. And hopefully when we fill it, we won't get the biofilm that happens. You want me to break up any of the smaller rocks so we can get like small pieces later? Oh,
I
you have
have some
some
small
already,
pieces
yeah,
in
okay.
here. Yeah. I hope I broke up enough.
Can you pass me a Syracuse though?
I think this is the best one.
So if you guys are customers at our store, we don't have pieces already broken up. A lot of customers coming to the store, I'm gonna be honest, you guys are lazy. You guys should just buy your own pieces and break them up yourself. Just go get a hammer, go on the sidewalk and give it up, right? But a lot of customers do come in and ask like where the small rocks are at. If you're curious, it came from one of these guys and we just busted it up not too long ago.
Will you be posting this afterwards? Steve has to put his kids to sleep. So
Steve, this will be put on YouTube after, so if you can't stay for the entire stream, that's okay. You can rewatch it again later after the stream's done. But thanks for participating for what you can, and hopefully your kids can go to sleep. This chair won't lower. Is that the maximum of this? There you go. So do you like this wood compared to the other one? Or do you still like the other one better?
Honestly, I don't know. They're both nice.
You had a love for the other one, didn't you?
So we were initially supposed to stream with another piece of wood that we had. So we had a client who really wanted it, and he ended up buying it. So
If you're watching this, you know who you are.
But then Tom luckily got a new shipment of decor. Within
I
the-
couldn't say no. He really wanted it, you know. We can always work with something else too.
Exactly. And there's so many pieces that you can definitely utilize.
Can you see Archie just walking around? No, everything's
No.
covered.
I'm laughing because I got a message from the Silva family who's watching it while they're having dinner. They're screaming
That's
on
so
their big
funny.
screen.
You guys are making me hungry, man.
Alright, so for the people who just tuned in, I'm currently making a rock separation for the soil
A little bit louder.
and the sand. So just to keep you guys updated with what's going on.
So where's the sand going?
It's gonna go underneath,
Oh, literally underneath. Ah, I see.
right here.
Yeah. And the back is soil?
Back is gonna be soil too.
How high are you thinking the soil's gonna be?
Outlets?
Like 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches?
I'll take 2 at least. Two.
This is like 2 inches.
1.5. A good 1.5. Yeah. Yeah. Let me lift this up just to see how it looks.
Need help? No, you
We're
got it.
good. We're good.
Oh, I like that
Alright,
path, man.
so
That's a
little
nice path.
pathway.
Yeah, I wonder if the audience can see it. I'm gonna try to get the camera to view
Yeah.
real quick. Just so you guys can see it up close.
Maintenance on this tank is going to be fun because we can either just take out the centerpiece and kind of clean everything out.
Okay,
on
you
the
drop it
inside.
down now.
Yeah. All right. We're good.
Are you gonna try to make it a little bit of a hill, or no?
Hill. Sorry, where?
Like in the sand area, it's just flat.
Sand. It's what sand's gonna be
Flat
flat.
ground, okay.
Yeah.
You could also tuck this rock underneath there if you want to give that some height a little bit.
Sorry, tuck the rock.
Yeah, so you see how if I lift this part here,
Yeah.
you can tuck that rock
Oh,
right there
yeah.
underneath if you wanted to.
Cool.
That would give it some, but we have to make sure it's stable. You want Nope.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Okay. Let me fix that. No.
It's a
biggie.
one-man job.
No
You gotta
biggie.
have to feel.
That was cool. Alright. It's time to add in the soil.
Did you get the soil bag ready?
Which bag are you using?
There was no more small ones for this, right?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Then we'll just use tropical soil. Do you think this is enough to cover that front area? More than enough, right? And the back?
I think so. Yeah.
If you
Alright.
think we need more than this, we can open this bag here.
Are you planning to use Neo for the other tanks?
Yes.
Let's just use that one, just in case, yeah.
So you guys, the soil we decided to use is called Neoflow. I've used it for multiple tanks in the store, and I pretty much stand behind it because my plants all grow pretty darn healthy. And you know, if you don't have this around your area, you can also try Tropica soil. I've also had lots of success with that. Just if you're doing carpeting plants, I wouldn't recommend you try Fluvostratum. That just doesn't have enough nutrients over time, in my opinion. So today, Neo soil it is. Get the little cup. All right.
How many people we got watching?
We got 13 accounts watching.
Alright.
That could be a lot more people.
Not
And
bad.
on Instagram, there's a ton of people too.
Well, I'm not sure who's in, but I just want to say hi to all of y'all. Thank you for watching.
Here, I'll go over there and I'll pour it over.
All right. Carefully placing the soil. Now while doing this, there's going to be mistakes, you know. It's okay to make a mess. What you want to do is kind of control the mess that you're making, you know?
You know, sometimes mistakes leads to something more beautiful.
That is very true.
At least with art. Don't apply that to everything, guys. Sometimes mistakes are just mistakes.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. I don't know why I'm cupping the side of the glass as if I'm going to actually catch the soil.
Force a habit.
It is.
This is called a shovel, an aquarium shovel, if you guys are wondering, and we're gonna use it to move the soil around.
Isn't we roughly 1.5 inches of soil in the foreground?
As long as you have enough room for the plants to
Yeah.
actually stay, right?
Trying to even it out. Maybe a nice separation. This would be for the carpet. So we're gonna have Monte Carlo on the wood and then on the foreground as well.
Hopefully we have enough of it.
Hopefully. And if not, you know, it's gonna grow in.
We can always trim it and put some more down.
Yeah. So you guys want to save money, and you guys, you know, or you guys only have a pot of Monte Carlo, any carpeting plant, and it's just gonna take time to grow in. Some people aren't patient enough, so they will, you know, buy multiple cups. But if you only have one cup to use, you know, be very scarce of how much you're gonna use, and then I guess
It'll all grow in eventually anyways.
pretty much.
So you think we should use Sterigene repins too to mix it a little bit? Because these are the bigger ones.
Okay.
You see mine over there in that tank?
Yeah.
It has Sterigene right behind the hair grass.
I actually didn't know you had it in there.
Oh yeah, go have a look real quick.
Give me 1 second.
Complementing carpeting plants. I'll leave this here in case it's a maybe.
I don't mind using it. I'm gonna add a little piece of rock in this corner to kind of still separate that sand area. Won't be that noticeable, which will be fine, but
You're gonna see the sand and soil touch here though.
yeah,
For sure.
for sure, yeah.
Which is okay with you, right?
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Not gonna be the end of the road.
I mean, the fish are gonna move everything around eventually anyways.
Yeah. It's just gonna take maintenance to kind of keep your scape the same, I guess, you know. I'm just trying to find small pieces to fill certain areas. This one's, I think I'll just pick up this one.
So the idea of using small pieces is they complement your bigger pieces, right? This would ultimately look a lot better if you had something like this surrounding it. And that's what I mean by complementing pieces, right? If you just have this one piece there, yeah, it could look good, but it doesn't look as good as something like that. And then a step further you can take it is crush these guys up even smaller, and you can just sprinkle it around that area, right? It gives it a sense of age, in my opinion. Makes it look like it's been there for a long time. Plus it gives lots of details. So we have some of that actually. Some of these small little crushed up rocks right here. We'll be using it later once the scape is complete.
I'll steal some of this.
Oh, it looks like he's gonna use it now.
Just need something very tiny. I really want to separate the sand and the soil. I don't want any soil kind of, I guess, breaking through to the sand. So I'm trying my best to kind of control that right now. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. What do you guys think so far? Are we going to have any live critiques?
Someone out there can probably do better already, right?
Alright. Cool.
No critiques yet.
No critiques yet.
I can't check Instagram though.
Okay. Where's the other side?
Instagram has 2 viewers.
Reggie says
Dave
not.
Hasper, if you're viewing right now, make sure you follow the link in the pinned comment below. We actually have a second camera set up on YouTube. The audio level is much better, and there's lots more audiences over there, so just make sure you go over to the YouTube channel.
So now I'm adding soil to the back. If you guys are just tuning in, I just want to remind you guys again, the back is going to be very important because the design is also focusing on the side profile, the side view. When you're going to view the tank from this angle, you're going to have a different perspective, essentially. You know, some people design their scapes to be only forward facing, and they don't really think about the side views. But if you take that extra step to plan the different angles, you can enjoy your tanks in multiple ways rather than just, you know,
From the front.
exactly.
I really respect those people who build tanks in like the center of the floor and escapes all around.
Yeah, the
Those are
360
beautiful.
view. There's that convention that everyone seems to be going to. That tank on the dinner table.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was cool. That was really cool. Just even in the back right now.
So I'm gonna give you guys a good view of what he's doing. Well, you know what? I could just take the camera off. Let me do that.
Can I have another cup of soil? I just need one
Oh,
more.
you need another cup of soil?
No,
Okay.
just one more. Did we mention we're gonna have shrimps in this tank?
No, I did not.
Alright, we're gonna have some shrimps in this tank too. I still find shrimps to be a little bit underrated. You know, not many people consider shrimps into their tanks, especially when, you know, they're kind of new to this hobby.
They're the cleanup crew, man.
Yeah.
You always gotta have shrimps.
Yes, and I actually think they're very peaceful to watch.
Unless your fish eats shrimps, then do not keep shrimps. But here we go. So this is the side view that Anthony was talking about. Customers will be able to see it mainly from this viewing angle here.
This tool is so useful. It really helps.
I agree. Using tools when it comes to aquascaping really, I feel like enhances or just makes life a lot easier. I wouldn't say
100%.
enhance.
100%.
Yeah, I remember first trying in the aquarium hobby, trying to plant stem plants with just my fingers.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Oh my god.
Alright, everything's looking good. I'll need some more small rocks to kind of support this. How's it looking from your side?
There's lots of reflections right now,
Okay, okay.
but once we get the light in there, people will be able to see it better. But let me try to get a top view.
I'm basically trying to cover the little corners of these rocks where soil might escape. Hence why I'm using the very, very small pieces of rocks right now. A little tricky here. Tight space.
The work. Gotta put in that extra effort, you know?
Oh yeah. Definitely pays off. Oh, alright. You can still see the separation in the center. So if you guys didn't hear earlier, we're gonna have sand right in between here. A thin layer of sand. Just because there's not gonna be light hidden that area. So it's gonna be very hard to grow plants unless you have a plant that doesn't require light at all. But since we're not gonna do that, we're just gonna have sand fill this negative space here.
I believe also we're going to be putting low light plants somewhere down there as well, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with some low light plants.
Yeah.
You can tuck it in the corners here too, right? Because the light might be covering this area.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be cool. It'll also help add to the separation. Let me actually add some more soil here. Alright.
Looking good.
I guess the most difficult part of this hobby is the patience. You know, we're setting this up with a visual that we have in our heads, but it's going to take months for it to grow in, and it's going to feel like a very long time for some people.
Yeah, what I've actually noticed helping customers out is they want to buy lots of plants to fill it in right away. Like, I want to show you guys how much plants we're actually just using. We're using 1 cup of pretty much each, including the carpeting plant, the Monte Carlo itself. People really need to, at least the beginners, need to understand that everything will grow in.
Alright.
It just takes some time, you know?
Let me take a look at it with the light. I just want to see.
Oh gosh, man. It's so bright.
Okay, alright. Okay. This is the planting stage, bro.
No sand?
We're gonna add the sand last.
Sand last?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
The reason why we're adding the sand last, it's when we fill this tank in later, the residue or the dust and the powder from the soil,
Oh, I see.
it can start. It will start to separate.
It's gonna lift, yeah.
It's gonna lift,
I know
yeah.
that. And then it's gonna get on the sand, which you don't want.
Exactly,
right?
and it's
I
gonna make
see.
your sand dirty, and you're not gonna want the sand to be dirty.
So what are you planning? Are you planning on adding sand after the water's filled?
I think we'll do it after the water's filled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the first I've heard at least.
That way we can.
It's smart though. No, it's a good
Maintain.
idea. Yeah, it's
Mm.
just the first I've heard. So, because I did that the same with my 60L at home,
Okay.
and I ended up getting soil all over my white sand.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now I kind of got lazy and left it. Right?
Exactly,
But,
right?
Yeah,
See, I've made that mistake a lot of times, and that's how I've learned to add the sand afterwards.
Gotcha.
You know, I guess when whoever's doing this, or if you guys are getting into this hobby, you're gonna learn on the way. You know, you're gonna do your research. You're gonna read about things you're gonna watch out for, be careful about. But at
There's
the
so
end
much
of the day,
conflicting details online too.
pretty much, yeah. And you're gonna learn most from your own mistakes. So
Exactly.
So yeah. All right. I guess we can wet the soil now.
Question: are you gonna put some sand right here in this area too? You know where
I think it'll slowly fall into this area here.
the sand.
The sand, yeah.
Gotcha. But you're gonna lift the wood to do
I'm
that.
gonna lift the wood to do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Cool.
what do you want to start with? Do you want to start Monte Carlo?
Yeah, let's do the Monte Carlo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Monte Carlo. If you guys never used tissue culture cups before, you always want to make sure that you open it and drain out the liquid that comes inside, and give it a little quick rinse as well. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll be back.
Let's see.
Anthony,
Yes.
how would you do it so that the sand doesn't float all over?
So what I normally do is I have the cup filled with sand, and I already soak it with water. Sorry, I'm looking at you. I already soak the sand with water, and I essentially slowly lower the sand in. You don't want to drastically put the cup in too fast because the sand's gonna be all over the place. But if you do it slowly, the sand would not lift. And then at that point, you kind of just let the sand fall out from the cup, and then it pretty much just settles that way. I know a lot of people have that misconception that, you know, you add the sand last and the sand's gonna be all over the place. It actually won't do that if you do it very carefully. It's gonna be like that if your sand is dry and you just dump the sand in the cup in. So you just want to pre-soak the sand and then slowly add it in there essentially.
You guys will also see us do it in a bit too.
Let me clear this area a bit. So we're going to plant the Monte Carlo. We just cleared the what's the gel inside that they use? Is there a term for it?
I don't think there's just, I don't know. They just call it like a special, they used to call it special gel, which was inside the cups, but now they use some sort of liquid.
Okay.
It seems that they figured out something that might last as much longer now.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Versus the jelly.
Where is the tissue? Alright. So what you want to do is essentially separate the cup. I'm going to take this away. Sorry, not the cup, but the plants inside the cup. You know, it comes in like a cute little ball. You kind of want to break into little parts and plant it in small portions. If the portions aren't small enough, it's actually going to start lifting, and you don't want that. It's going to be very frustrating to kind of replant again. It will happen, but you kind of want to avoid that. I'm going to use my hands actually. We're going to slowly separate it. I always feel so gentle against these plants.
I know the first time I've had to deal with Tropica tissue culture cups, I had no idea what I was doing because everything was so bunched up. And especially with like these ones where you don't know where the stem is or the root is, I had lots of trouble. But with Monte Carlo, it's really easy. You can kind of just plant it how it is, and it'll know to take root later.
Yeah, Monte
That
Carlo.
HC Cuba, and what was the other one? Marsilea hirsuta, I believe, or
I've never used those before.
there's 3 similar plants like Monte Carlo, HC Cuba, and there was another one that was similar. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but
Tom with the camera work, 10 out of 10.
Hey. How's everyone doing so far?
hope everyone's having a good night. I know it's Monday, probably just got home from work not too long ago.
It's almost 10. I think people are ready for bed.
Well, some people work late, right?
Oh, that's right.
Who sleeps nowadays? There's
That's
actually a lot.
Yeah.
Yo. Holy.
Jinx.
Honestly, this
You
is.
owe me a soda pop, man.
I'll buy you a soda pop, bro.
Well, you
No
got me the
problem.
smoothie already, so there you go. We're even.
Yeah, we even. There's actually a lot.
It is a lot. Are
Yeah.
you gonna save like a bunch for the top area? Or you're gonna glue them like that too?
I'm gonna see how much I have once I separate this. And then I think we might glue a bit of it as a portion.
Sure. You wanna? When you plant, do you spray it and make it moist, or do you just plant as is?
I sprayed to make it moist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Spray bottles beside you then.
Perfect. Yo, this is actually a lot.
It is.
Yeah, we
If
don't.
you don't finish it, you just put it in the cup here.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this here for now. All right. Let's spray this soil. Cool.
So now we have this spray bottle I got off Amazon for about $15. It just makes a mist with the water. And essentially we want to make the soil moist, a little bit damp, just so when we do plant the Monte Carlo, it's gonna stay in, right? And not lift once we decide to fill it with water. So that's the trick.
Back here. It's looking good, looking good. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a couple pumps.
Man, that's not moist anymore, that's like drowned.
Alright, this should be good. Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Give you guys a little quick view. It's probably hard to see unless you're on the big screen.
I think the rule of thumb, from what I've read, people like to plant 5 centimeters apart from each. How should I explain
Yeah,
this?
in an
each
X.
portion.
So
in an X,
when you're
yeah?
planting, yeah, do it in the X. So essentially you want to plant it how we laid it out here. That's a good format too. When I say X, I do mean like this, or a plus sign.
A little grid, eh? I'm
Yeah.
gonna start off in this corner here. Alright. Oh, oh.
That's how you plant, huh?
How do you do this, Tom?
So
Do you do it deeper? Like, do you just...
here, give me the tool.
Yeah, let me see how you do it. I just planted UG the other day.
Yeah. So
It's so
usually
delicate.
I usually hold the plant something like this, right? And I get in there and I drop it in the soil, then I'll lift out.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
okay.
you're actually pulling it downwards instead of like
okay.
pulling it upwards.
True, true.
Yeah, that's my method. Everyone has different ways, guys, so I
Interesting.
find whatever works for you, just stick to that way.
I can use my fingers a bit, you know, seal it up. And let me do a couple more, then you can show us how you do it. I'm curious. I want to see it. I kind of just hold the plant or the portion of it. Depends on how deep the soil is, right? If it's a very deep substrate, then I kind of go higher. This is not too deep since it's only 1.5 inches. I'm gonna keep it right there.
Again, there's no water, so you can always kind of use 2 fingers, hold the plant down, and release the other plant or with the
True.
tweezers.
So I'm going in. So I'm kind of just letting go. So it's already at its deepest part of the substrate. Oh, and I'm trying to just lift it up. I cannot wait to see this grow.
Me too, man.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm gonna move this because it's reflecting.
Should we wipe down the glass as well? How is it looking so far?
It looks better now.
It's better now? Okay.
I think the whiteness was reflecting too much. Now I can get closer too.
Oh, can you do this one? I feel like it's harder doing this knowing that there's people watching you.
The pressure's on.
Pressure is really on. Oh, I just dropped a little piece.
Rich Ezzy says, Buoyscape is a legend.
Hey.
He's a genius.
What up, Richard?
Knowledge is power by Anthony.
Thank you for the support, bro.
I think it's from a sand trick. I
Huh?
never thought it's
Oh,
from a sand trick.
The
I never
sand
thought
trick,
of that
yes,
either.
yes. Streaming quality is excellent.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to. We should do a live stream of this tank once it's all grown in, you know?
100%.
Talk about it a bit.
I'm down for
Give
that.
everyone a nice little update, you know? Oh, that'd be so fun.
We have the unused GoPro 9 that you can actually put underwater.
Oh,
Right.
alright.
Use two hands.
Oh, let's use 2 hands for this.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Yes, sir. Watch you just fill with water later and like half of it comes up.
I really hope not. I really hope not. There's actually a lot of Monte Carlos.
Indeed it is. At least it's gonna fill in quick.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, get your fingers a little bit dirty. Alright. I'm gonna do probably 1, 2, 3 more pieces here. This part I think is more than enough to grow in and fill out.
It's a little bit exciting seeing it fill anyways.
Oh yeah,
If you kind of patch it all filled now,
100%.
there's not much to grow. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I think if you have the patience watching this growing, it
Yeah.
will be one of the most satisfying things you can kind of do.
I was watching Kalen's video, and Kalen, if you're still watching this, man, your Monte Carlo is so bushy, dude. It's insane. I think your Monte Carlo is like up to here or something. Man, I hope our tank's it's gonna fill at least 2 inches high. You know?
Oh, that'd be so fun. That would be so fun. Let's see.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? If you're still viewing from Instagram, make sure follow the comment below. It's on our YouTube channel. The audio and everything is much better. There's more audience over there, and yeah, see you guys on that side.
Caleb says, yeah, it was like 3 inches tall in some areas. Ripped out a lot though.
Caleb said it was 3 inches tall in some areas, dude.
Wow.
I gotta get a.
Alright.
Where's my measuring tape? I need to know.
Yeah, we should have Caleb here too one day.
3 inches. 3 inches,
That's
dude.
crazy.
You're crazy, man.
Crazy.
How tall is 3 inches?
That's pretty tall.
It's like a quarter of the tank.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of the tank. Oh my gosh.
Sure, I might have some Monte Carlo here. Alright, let me actually glue some pieces now. So we're gonna glue the Monte Carlo to this little cave opening here. Like Tom said earlier, it's gonna be a nice drape, kind of like curtains. We're gonna really control the growth by snipping the opening of the cave, just so it doesn't, you know, fully cover everything. You know, we might even let it grow. We'll see how it goes, but
I mean, we might get lazy for like 2 weeks or so,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna take over, right?
and that might be fun to kind of like open up again. We'll see how that goes. Let's get the glue.
Is that okay? Maybe 2.5 inches. Whoops.
All right, 2.5 inches of
bad.
Monte Carlo is more reasonable, man. 3 inches is like, dang, dude.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff on Instagram where people have like a crazy
I've seen that too, yeah.
thickness of carpet. I've never had carpet that thick, but
Can you imagine being a shrimp and getting lost in a Monte Carlo?
imagine.
What does it say on the back of the Monte Carlo container that Tropica says it can grow up to?
It doesn't say.
On the back side,
It doesn't say.
right there.
30
Second one.
centimeter wide.
Oh.
So my channel was just saying on the back of the tropical cups, it usually tells you how fast, or sorry, how tall and wide they grow. And yeah, Monte Carlo says 30 centimeters wide in 30 days.
Oof,
30 centimeters wide in 30 days.
that's crazy. I'm gonna have some glue on my fingers.
You want gloves? Oh, too late.
It's too late now. You know, it is what it is.
Make sure to often spray.
Wet the wood a little bit more, as it was already drenched earlier. Sorry.
No worries.
I have actually never glued Monte Carlo before, so this will be very interesting to experiment with.
Will you guys be using CO2 in this tank?
Yes.
Will we be using CO2? Yes, we will be using CO2 in this tank. We ran out of CO2 cylinders in our store until the end of the month. So, what we will be using instead for the first couple weeks is Neo CO2, and this bottle is good for 10 to 30 gallons, and this tank is 9 gallons. It's not quite there, or almost there, so I think it's going to be good enough. I've had success with this bottle in the past too. I've used it for my nano tank in the store. Not sure if you guys can see it. Nope, can't see it on camera. But I do have a nano tank somewhere over there, and we use this to fill in our carpet tank. Carpet grass.
This is my first time doing a tank like this. I really hope that the Monte Carlo goes downwards and kind of drapes the opening. Honestly, if it doesn't, it's just going to grow nicely around the wood, which isn't bad either, you know? Sometimes your expectations aren't going to come out to be the way you initially started, which is fine. It's all part of the process of learning.
Rome wasn't built in one day. Did you glue that, or did you just
I just glued it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you kind of just like shoved it there and hope for the best.
I'm hoping for the best and gluing it. Alright. Initially I was going to use moss, but I think this would be cleaner to maintain.
Oh yeah.
Any plans to do on-location build and maintenance in the future?
Oh yes.
Oh yes, me and
Yes.
Anthony were actually just talking about going to like different hospitals and different restaurants who are interested in having an aquarium, specifically an aquascape tank set up in their store or business. And you know, I think Anthony was going to, or was willing to go and do the maintenance once a month,
Oh yeah.
or you know, depending on how much clients he has. But it's definitely something we've talked about, and we want to kind of start that next year sometime.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, a lot of people have gardens to maintain and take care of. I personally think water gardens might be cooler. It's definitely
Water
something-
gardens.
Water gardens.
I've actually talked to a customer who doesn't do ponds. He spent $10,000 on a pond.
No way.
Yeah.
What? 10,000 on a pond?
Yeah, it had like streams and stuff like that.
Okay.
You ever see Shaquille O'Neal's pond?
No.
Oh my god, you should go on YouTube and look at Shaquille O'Neal's pond.
Alright guys, we're checking that out tonight.
Frankie commented, the Monte Carlo will grow down like vines. I prefer it more than moss.
Oof, I'm excited. Thank you, Frankie, for letting us know that. Let's see, I'll put over here too. I'm sure a couple strands are gonna fly up, which is fine. As long as you have a base, I'm pretty sure it's gonna just slowly grow and take over. I'm gonna start spraying a little bit more actually.
Look at the technique. Huh? Trigger fingers, guys. Bop, 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 bop.
Words don't taught me. I want to put some here actually too.
I actually like that so far. It's looking really good.
Isn't it cool?
I can see like the drapes growing downwards. That's gonna look awesome, man. I'm excited.
I'm very excited, Tom. Super
Also, you're
excited.
gonna do it. You're gonna add Monte Carlo growing, hopefully immersed.
Yeah, I think eventually it's gonna slowly grow up. I have HC Cuba at home. If you guys check out my Instagram page, you guys can actually see me grow dwarf baby tears above water. I had moss as a base, so I actually never used glue, and that moss has slowly grown upwards. And I feel like the dwarf baby tears and the moss is kind of complementing each other in terms of growth, because the moss is growing upwards to the top of my wood, and then the dwarf baby tears is kind of growing together with it. So it's slowly growing upwards, which is great. I'm kind of excited to see my tank at home.
And if you guys didn't know, if you actually look at Tropica's YouTube channel, all of their plants are grown immersed, which means they're out of water. So majority of the plants can actually grow or start to shoot out of the water if you allow it to. Especially carpeting plants like Monte Carlo here. And that's what Anthony's planning on doing.
Nice little base here. And then I'm sure this is going to start to overtake the wood over time. We're going to maintain it. We're going to trim around these openings here to kind of keep that same structure, the same integrity of this wood, which will be, I think will be nice in the future when we look at it. It's just to see, like, you know, all the Monte Carlo take over and then small little holes here. Awesome.
So where are you planning on putting the Bucephalandras and Anubius right now?
I want one of the boosts to be very close to the water. I kind of want it to floral
Gotcha.
in a few months.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that takes, but like you told me last week that it needs to be above water to survive.
Yep.
I think this area might be okay.
Gotcha. That's a good spot for it.
Maybe even this area too. Maybe. This is what we have so far. Alright, yeah. Let's plant this guy next.
Now we're dealing with Alternanthera reniki mini, also known as ARM, short form, ARM.
So for that plant, I'm gonna tuck it closer to the bottom of the wood. This part will be nice to kind of complement and subtly show the redness of the plant. And because it is a low light plant, it doesn't need direct light compared to the carpet that we're planting in front. So because of that, I'm gonna tuck it nicely in these corners here. And it's gonna create some dimension into the tank. Red is always a nice subtle color. It's not something that I even use for myself, so it's gonna be fun seeing it grow in this space. Nice, thank you.
I got 2 new comments. Can you trim and replant trimmings?
Can you trim and replant trimmings? Yes, you can. Majority of the plants, they're going to be different for each and every plant, I mean. The word you want to call or look for is called propagation. Most plants will propagate differently. For example, carpeting plants propagate differently than stem plants. Stem plants are one of the easier plants to propagate. And let me show you an example. So this plant right here, normally any long looking plants like so, we call it a stem plant. You can actually trim it anywhere you want, right here, whether it be here, here, or here, as long as you don't go all the way down. You can pretty much snip it and just replant it elsewhere. Now when it comes to carpeting plants, you're gonna have to trim the carpet and collect them in a bunch usually, and you're gonna find a way to collect that bunch and plant them together. But normally carpeting plants are a lot harder to propagate, so
Alright, the second comment was Crown Tail Half Moon. Hi Tom, I shared the link on some of my Facebook groups. Thanks for sharing. Hope all well.
thank you so much, Crown Tail. Appreciate the share, honestly.
We appreciate having you guys here. Very thankful.
And then a new commenter, we have Naomi that loves the color, and yes, AR mini for the win.
Yes, arms. I'm gonna get that to be the new thing, man.
Raul asks how you made the stem plants not float.
So we just started planting the stem plants, but if you're talking about like propagated stem plants and you want to take the trimming to replant, what I actually do is, what you want to do with the stem plant is bend the bottom so it gives you an anchor, and then what you can do is dig it into the substrate, and hopefully that will anchor the plant into the substrate. If you're still having trouble, we also have aquarium weights. These are pretty much made out of lead and they're aquarium safe. We use them sometimes, and you just wrap them around the stem of your plant and you can easily place it down. But for the most part, let's say this is the stem right here, like I was saying, you can simply just bend the stem at the very bottom where my thumb is right here. Again, it will give it an anchor point, or you can completely plant it covering these two plants right here. It's okay if these guys are covered, they'll melt away, but as long as there's new plant growth, that's all that matters. These leaves right here will also act as an anchor point. It's hard to see from the side because it's all like wet.
Yeah, it's a little harder.
But you can see there, that's where he planted Alternanthera Reniki Mini. And he also planted some right in the corner there.
It's got a little bit left.
Oh, that's cool. You're gonna make it see through the cave, right?
Yeah, you're gonna see a little bit through the other side. I mean, nice background.
It'll get bushy.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Nice little bush in the back here.
Maybe if you wipe the front glass down a little bit, it'll be a bit easier to see.
I did wipe it down, but the dude keeps spraying with water. You can't stop the man.
Hey, be quiet.
No. Stop barking. Oh, she ordered food? Sorry guys, I have my dogs here as well. I will show you guys in a second and introduce.
Baby, bro.
One of our supporters have gotten us pizza.
No kidding.
No way.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to face the camera for this.
No way. What? Someone blessed us with food?
That's in drinks.
Okay, so I don't know which follower or which viewer just bought us pizza, but thank you so much.
Wow.
Oh man,
Wow.
that was so unexpected. We're like, who's knocking at the store at this time?
Oh, my
And
turn.
yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. You know who you are, obviously. We're so appreciative of that. Thank you so much again. That is really awesome of you.
I'm actually gonna add some more soil in the back here, just a little more.
The shout out goes to Reggie.
It was Richard.
Yep.
Thank you, Reggie. Appreciate that, man.
Tom, sir, what brand glue are you using?
What brand glue am I using? I am using Flourish glue. But if you ask me, you can also use this glue. Just make sure it's 100% dry before you decide to fill with water or drop it into your aquarium. Oh, and this is from, I believe, Amazon?
Yeah, I got it off
Amazon.
Amazon. The biggest difference between it is the flourish glue doesn't leave any white marks on your rock.
Gotcha.
All the other glue might.
Alright, time to plant the
Do you
area.
think you have enough? Angel, hey.
Guys, come here.
All right, so just so you guys can see what's going on, I have my dog. This is Archie. That's Angel.
They wanted the pizza.
And Angel doesn't really like Archie sometimes. So yeah, that's what the crying was. Oh, hey buddy, come here. It's okay. Show the viewers you're all right. Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna plant some more Monte Carlo here. A nice thin carpet. And then we're gonna have some Agaria. This is the plant I want to use as the background. It's gonna be tucked in right at the back here. Hopefully it creates a nice visual movement from the foreground when you look at it. It might be like a cool area on the side as well. That's kind of the look that I'm going for. Let's remove this. I've actually never planted this before. Tom has luckily given me the opportunity to select whichever plant that he had in his store. So I'm kind of experimenting as well. And I'm learning new things as I'm doing this, which is great.
Yeah, nobody, unless you've been in the hobby for a long time, can name you every single plant. And if you can, man, you just have good memory.
Kudos to you. Tom, should I put the metal base at the bottom? What
If
do
you think so, if you think you really need it, we can add it.
I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know how this is gonna float.
Use
on-
tweezers.
Yeah, I'm just afraid it's not deep enough. Like, how do you feel? I've never planted this before.
You might need more substrate.
More substrate?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'll put some more substrate.
You can also trim it because it's too tall now.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trim it. And then it'll root itself. How do you feel about removing this much, Tom?
Which side are you gonna use?
I'm gonna use this side.
The bottom portion or the top?
The top.
This one, or this one?
I'm gonna use this one.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it. What is...
You can also plant both of them. You know.
Sorry?
You can also plant both of them.
Oh, true. Okay, alright. I'll trim in half. That's awesome. Alright. This should be good. I just want to see how deep this goes. A nice bushy area.
When the water gets in, it'll lift up too. So. They're still Instagram viewers. What's going on, you guys? If you are just joining in now, make sure you follow the pinned comment in the description. It's right there. It says youtube.com/plantsedaquaria. You guys will see the main view and participate with all the commenters and audience on our YouTube channel. So just make sure you get over there.
I like to spray the plants once in a while. Give it some moisture. I don't want them drying out on me.
You can always use the shovel later and pack it down.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that. There's actually a lot. That pizza smells so good.
Make sure you spray sometimes too.
Hope that's deep enough.
Eventually the roots will establish itself and stay connected down there. So that's smart. It's like outdoor potting, you know?
Literally.
Make a hole, put the plant in, and cover it.
That's where I learned this in grade 1. And teachers had us plant our own seed.
Frankie said stems are way easier to plant with a few inches of water. I always say with flat.
Oh, true enough.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
Good to know, Frank. Good to know.
that's a good idea. For our next scape, we'll leave the stem plants at the end and fill a little bit of water.
Alright, I'm actually gonna put some Monte Carlo
You're gonna have it carpet the back too, yeah?
in. A little bit. Just the side. Like this area here.
I mean, eventually it's gonna just take over.
and it'll take over, so.
Natasha says, "Girl, eat the pizza."
I am eating pizza.
Natasha, she is eating the pizza right now. You can't see her on camera.
How long have you been doing this for?
The live stream has been going on for an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh,
I think
wow.
we can wrap it up in another 30 though.
Guys, thank you for still tuning in, whoever is still in.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys staying late with us to escape this tank.
And when you're doing this, time kind of flies. It's felt like only 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but that's how happens when you're into it. Alright.
Did you use all the Monte Carlo?
That's pretty much all the Monte Carlo. Small bits here and there. And just a little bit. Alright, the last set will be the boost.
Oh, you forgot Sterogene. I don't know if you want to use it at all.
I don't know if I have the space right now.
Okay, then
Yeah.
we don't need it then.
Alright, so we're not going to use Stero. We're not going to use any of these repens.
It's too big for the scale that we want to do.
Yeah. We have quite a lot of plants.
We'll keep it simple though, so basically just 3 plants, Monte Carlo, Egeria densa, and Alternanthera reniki mini. Something customers can look at in the store and maybe mimic or copy and do something of their own style.
You already see a bit of a... You guys can see, this one already has a bit of flowering going on.
Yeah,
Hasn't
right
bloomed yet.
there. That's gonna be cool when it flowers.
Oh yeah.
And in order for plants like those to flower, it needs to reach outside the water. So Anthony's gonna plant that somewhere up here, almost close to the outside of the water. That way, hopefully that stem will grow a little bit out and then, you know, produce a flower. That's gonna look awesome. So right now, he's just preparing the plant. This is Bucephalandra Ketagang, right? Or is it red?
Oh, this one's wavy green.
So Bucephalandra wavy green. So just making sure you remove the stem, or sorry, the sponge from the stems.
Should I trim it?
If you want to trim it, you could. Usually I have like a pot of water and I dip that inside so the cotton's wet and soggy.
Yeah, let's kind of soak this one a bit.
Yeah. Cool, so he's gonna be right back. I believe I had a question, no?
You did. Crown Tail Half Moon asks, Plantaton, if using pots, what do you recommend as substrate?
When using pots?
I guess potted plants?
Potted plants, you mean? If you're using potted plants, you really can use any substrate. Sometimes we even use gravel. I have a display tank in the store over there. I can't actually bring my camera there because we're connected, so I can't show you, unfortunately. But for stem plants, when it comes to those type of plants, you really just need gravel. And worst comes to worst, you can always add some nutrition. Sorry, I'm losing my words. Fertilizers, not nutritions. And we have something like either root tabs you can add into gravel, right? Or you can just dose in the water column, specialized fertilizer. So yeah, so if you're not doing carpeting plants, you really don't need soil. I tell my customers all the time, soil is really only necessary when you're doing the hard plants or when it comes to the carpeting plants. So makes it easy. Stem plants can grow in pretty much almost anything.
I guess you can say it both ways. I don't know. I can't pronounce half the stuff.
So
I'm gonna try to tuck it in here, actually.
So these two are just having a debate on how you say Bucephalandra. How do you guys say it? Is it Bucephalandra or is it Bucephalandra? Let us know in the comments.
So I am shoving the roots of this right in between the wood. I won't need to use glue.
Oh yeah, it'll just stay.
It's gonna stay nicely, and it actually roots itself. I've planted this on a piece of wood before, and you can't see the root, but it finds its way deep behind inside, and when you pull it out after a few months, the roots are actually so long, which is kind of crazy. This is actually pretty deep as it is. I don't think it's going nowhere. It's very deep in there.
I'd be surprised if it moved.
I'm excited.
Yeah, make sure you spray water on the Monte Carlo here and there, unless you did that already.
You sprayed it earlier?
Oh, okay.
I have to spray some more.
We got another question.
Another question.
For plants like moss and Monte Carlo that is glued on to the wood, can you always add more when you do your next water change?
Sorry, can you read that one more time aloud?
For plants like moss and Monte Carlo that is glued onto the wood, can you always add more when you do your next water change?
100%. You can always just, what I like to do is take a piece of the Monte Carlo or the moss already, grab it in a bunch, take your glue, and just put a little dabble onto the side that you want to stick onto your driftwood or, you know, your rock. And you can easily just lower the water level until the water is not submerging the area that you want to glue the moss onto. And yeah, just dab it on, leave it for like 5 to 10, maybe 15 seconds. As long as it's dry, you can fill it back with water, and that's no problem.
Alright.
And wait.
Or you can just be patient and let your moss and Monte Carlo grow in, right? Let nature do its thing.
We are adding the last buka.
Last one.
I'm just gonna clean this, I'll be back.
Okay.
This is how it looks, guys. Just want to show you.
Tommy, good for another question?
I am good for another question.
How often do you recommend trimming stem plants like Ligwinia, Kabamba, Rotala, Bacopa, etc.?
It's really up to you. Sometimes plants like those can even grow immersed out of the water. So if you allow it to, I actually have a tank at home where I have some certain hygrophilas and Ludwigias. They're literally growing outside of the water, right? So it's really up to you. If you want to keep it short, by all means, you know, you can trim it short and then you'll have double the amount of plants. Just plant it elsewhere. But if you want to see it grow immersed, just let it do its thing. Let it do its thing and eventually it'll grow there too.
I don't think there's really a rule of thumb.
I also think it's a good idea if we add some Anubius somewhere under here. But Anthony's currently cleaning the Bucephalandra. I believe he's going to add that somewhere up top here. He really loves to see the Bucephalandra flower. And this is another close-up. This is the stem right here that's eventually going to flower if we let it. So I was just telling the audience, I think maybe an Anubius somewhere on the rock down here, or no? Like right here, you think?
I'm cool with this area actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really blocking the view here.
Mm-hmm.
That might be cool.
Were you
but-
still using Java Fern as well? Maybe
Honestly,
somewhere here?
I don't know. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. You know, we had a lot of plants selected, and I feel like we've.
You can also do it right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that might be
Make
cool
it stick
too.
out.
Mm-hmm.
You can always, the
Not
Java
blocking.
Fern is easy to kind of get an idea.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can always just leave it there, see if you want it or not.
I agree. I'm just trying to find a place to tuck this little guy here in. This area might be the best. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tuck it in right over here. It just looks like it fits perfectly in there. Shoving the roots in. And I'm a little rough with it, but I don't want to be too rough. Placing some pressure.
Did you glue it or are you just shoving it?
I'm just shoving it. Oh, lost one leaf. I'm sorry. Yeah. That should be good. Let me see how this is right now. If it's moving, this one's not moving as much. This one is. I might have to glue this one just in case.
Could be rather safe than sorry, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna glue it just in case. Why not?
Are you still adding the Anubius?
Are we still what?
Adding Anubius?
Yes. Probably want a small one.
Small one, yeah.
Like a petite nana?
Yep.
I will grab it.
Alright. Glue has been added. Oh, this will be so fun. Alright.
There we go.
That's it. Tucking in there. Feels pretty stiff.
It'll dry by the
Yeah.
time we decide to fill with water.
My hands are already glued up.
Tank is looking good though. I like it.
Are you guys liking it so far? Pretty filled up? Yeah? Cool. What else? We got the Anubis? Or-
I'd like to have you read the comments.
All right. I'm going to read some comments while my trend is going to get the Anubius. So,
Tom, I'm taking a break when you set up the filter.
okay. Crown Tail Half Moon says, how often do you recommend trimming stem? Oh, I read that already. Tom Sir, do you recommend allow trim stem plants to flat and once it has root, then put in soil, or directly once trim into substrates? Can immerse stem plants can be planted fully submerged? So to answer your first question, do I allow trim stem plants to flat? Oh, I see. No, it doesn't have to have roots at all. You can actually just trim it and place it in right away. As long as you find a way to anchor that stem plant into your substrate, it will find a way to grow the roots on its own and anchor itself. Can immerse stem plants be planted fully submerged? Yep, so actually in Tropica's warehouse, every plant is grown immersed, and when we receive them, we actually put them submersed in our water completely right away, and they seem to do really well. No, you don't have to leave them floating. You can just cut the plants like we do with a lot of our stem plants and just plant it right away. As long as it can stay in the substrate, or you find a method to stay in the substrate, then it's all good. The roots will eventually grow like I mentioned.
I actually was able to fit some Java frame into the back right here. Pretty cool.
Oh, nice! You got some Java fern in there.
Yeah.
That's gonna grow, and it's gonna you'll be able to see it through the holes, which I love. That's gonna be awesome.
Bushy here. Got a little space for any species that would like to hide back here. A little cave for them, a little habitat. Little
Oh
home.
yeah.
Be fun. I think environments like this would be great for shrimps to breed as well. And a lot of good hiding spots will keep the baby shrimps away from, I guess, predators or from accidentally being eaten. And
Oh yeah, I think there's lots of shrimp hiding spots in this guy.
oh yeah, autocats would be great here. Autocats.
Otosynclus Otocats.
Autocats.
So
We're very close to filling up the water.
Mytran just got the Anubius. That's gonna be our last plant.
And Tom's gonna take over.
Yep.
We're gonna set up the filtration. Thank you.
Might need the heat gun for the tubing.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. So many plants today, bro. Alright, we're gonna tuck in some Anubius. Sorry, I was away a bit. Has some nice little cute leaves. It'll be a great plant to kind of fill the wood. So these guys cannot be planted in substrate. Ooh, alright. I don't know if you guys can see my finger, but you can actually put it right through this wood. I don't want to block areas where, you know, shrimps might want to get through. So I'm actually going to tuck it in this area right over here. You know, just having different types of plants will add more of a dimension, you know? It's going to have your eyes kind of move around and look at the different species that's going on. It's going to add some character. And that was very satisfying to fit the Anubius right in this little corner here. It's nice, perfect fit. Got another piece over here. Let's find a little home for it. I actually think I'm going to tuck it right in this corner. Oh yeah. Ooh, that fit. I want to trim the roots a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm loving the look.
It's looking nice.
I'm surprised you didn't cut it in half or something and put some down there.
Down there?
Yeah.
We still have some
Oh,
more.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So I tucked one over here and a little bit more down there.
Yeah, yep, I see that.
While Anthony's planting, we have another 2 questions that came in.
Okay, we have some questions.
What's the lighting and fertilizer regimen for this build?
So the lighting we're using is a Twin Star 45B. I had the box shown earlier, but the lighting is on the floor. That's a Twin Star right there in the corner. And we are using Neoflow for the substrate. which is this guy right here. This is a brand made by Aquario, a company called Aquario, and we use it for a lot of aquariums in our store, so we know we pretty much stand by it, and we use it pretty often because we know it works well for our plants. But if you've had success with other stuff, you know, I have also had success with Tropica soil, not too much with Fluval stratum, and that is this product right here. I mean, it's okay, but it doesn't supply enough nutrients in my opinion for any carpeting plants or medium to hard stem plants. So while Anthony's gluing the last Anubius, I have the hose set up right now. Once he's done, we're gonna move this display back into the little corner over here, and we're gonna fill it with water and then set up all the equipment.
So I'm just gonna take that out.
No worries.
Last minute change.
So these three plants right here, Anubius and Bucephalandras, these two, they're considered low light plants, but if you allow them to be under high lighting, they're gonna grow much faster. And again, Anthony really wants to see one of these bloom. So by giving it high intensity lighting, we're gonna allow that to hopefully happen. And it's gonna be exciting to see.
We got a couple more questions. Can you take them?
Couple more questions?
Ask away, go ahead.
Yes. What expanding bottom plants would you guys recommend to help control algae? Like, is there a bottom growing plant you guys have been successful in?
By bottom growing plants, I assume you mean carpeting plants. So there's lots of easy carpeting plants out there. You can try Marcilla hirsuta. I'm gonna have my trend type that in the comments. Another easy plant is Liliopsis brasilensis, and those guys I found when I'm growing them, especially, you can even do a non-CO2 tank, and they will grow. It just will take some time to grow. But for the algae answer, you just want to have more plants in your tank overall. The more plants you have, the less you're giving algae to win the fight, right? I usually call it like a nutrient war. And basically, when you're setting up a new aquarium or any aquarium, plants will fight algae for nutrients, right? And if you don't have enough plants to intake the nutrients in the water, you're gonna see algae no matter what, right? Just because there's excess nutrients hanging out in the water column, we want to allow more plants to soak all those nutrients up instead of algae, right? So more plants is better. Oh, so this is the big part. Oh, it's not the big part yet.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
fill water, then the sand comes,
Oh,
right?
I'm
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
It's doing slight adjustments. Cool. Alright. Anubis has been planted.
All right, that's, I believe, all the plants.
That's about it, guys. I'm gonna take a break. Tom's gonna finish up.
Yeah, is there viewers still on Instagram?
Oh, the battery got low, so it kicked us out. I wonder if it's still on. I tried to reconnect earlier, but it was too low.
Alright, we're back on. Sorry, guys. So we're gonna finish up with the scape. Oh, it's looking cool.
It looks so much better over there, actually, because there's no reflection.
That's awesome.
Try to give you guys a view. Can you pull? Give me more space here. So, This is the scape from a less reflection-like angle. You can see the Monte Carlo he planted here, at least 2 inches apart, or 1.5 at least. We have some arms, Ultum Nature in the back right there, in front of the rock. Once we fill with water, Anthony's going to be adding sand right under that cave area there. We have some Egeria densa in the back, and some Anubius laying on the driftwood, along with some Bucephalandras up here. And the idea again, if you just tuned in, the Monte Carlo is going to grow all over right here and hopefully create a drape or a curtain effect, and over time we will have to trim that. And hopefully as well, the Monte Carlo will grow immersed outside of the driftwood. So now we're going to fill it with water and set up all the equipment.
So while Tom's just doing that, is anything got a question?
Anthony has a question.
You ready for your question?
There's a question for me?
Yes.
All right.
Answer to here.
Anthony, do you re-plan your tank or do you sketch it? I guess, do you
So the question was, Anthony, do you plan your scapes or do you sketch your scapes in any way before going ahead with scaping it, or what?
For this tank, I actually did like a visual mapping. I actually came here a few days ago. Tom sold the piece of wood that we were about to scape previously. We already had a plan for that wood. Obviously, after it sold, we had to adjust and adapt. I was selecting all the wood selection that Tom had, and I found this piece to be the one that spoke to me the most. And then after we had that layout, I spent like an hour playing around with this wood. I know it might sound funny because it's just one piece of wood, but there's many ways I could have shaped it.
Many different angles and like layouts, yeah.
And I found this one to be the best personally, and then that's how I started mapping the design around that. It does take some sort of planning.
So you basically started with your decor, your big decor.
Exactly.
And then you kind of worked around it.
Yeah.
As a plant planning. Yeah.
Like I seen this nice cave open here, so I wanted to utilize that. And then obviously you can't have plants in the dark, so that's why I wanted to use sand here, and that's how I kind of slowly added things to the design. I didn't think about the foreground right away. I start off with the wood. I eventually expanded outwards, and then we thought about the carpet in here, where the sand's gonna move, and and then when we also placed the wood, I also looked at this side of the tank, because this side's gonna be blocked. You're not gonna be able to see much, so I didn't really focus on the design here. But this part is gonna be very open, and personally, from this angle, I feel like we can have a lot of cool shots in our photos as well, photographing it in this side of the tank.
So I guess ultimately it also depends where you're placing your tank. If you're able to have only a front view, or I guess a 3-dimensional view, right, on 3 sides or so. But in our case, we only have the 2 sides. So Anthony, like he said, you expanded on the 2 sides, focusing on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a desk tank at home, and my desk tank allows me to get 3 different perspectives. So my design at home for the tank I have kind of pleases these 3 angles here. It depends on what you guys want.
Gotcha.
If you have a living
Every
room-
tank's gonna be different too.
Exactly. All right.
Can I get the holes? This is always the fun part, trying not to mess up the plants.
Oh, yeah. I'm nervous.
Does it look good?
Yeah, it's looking good so far. Nothing's being disturbed. Water is being added slowly.
Slow and steady, you guys.
Slow and steady. Oof. Whoever has stayed this long for this stream, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of it. Probably one of my favorite parts of doing the tank is filling up the water.
And seeing the completed project. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Got another question. Can you do a series on this nano etc.?
Yeah, actually, me and Anthony were just talking about doing an update live stream on this tank one day. We'll just sit and talk about it for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, explaining what we did in terms of maintenance and how we upkeeped it. So yeah, you can expect a future live stream or video on that for sure.
I see one guy uprooting.
There's lots of them uprooting. Now's the time to fix it.
Oh no! Oh no! Alright. Fix all we can.
You want to use tweezers?
Use my fingers right now, actually.
There's some in the back area. Yeah, I'll find it. Fix it.
That happens, guys. Things will uproot. I think the portions I had were a little bit too big. I should have made it smaller, to be honest. All of our work, guys.
I don't think that was loud enough.
Which Marcella did you say earlier?
Marcella hirsuta.
Alright.
All good now?
All good so far. Do you have a clean brush tweezer?
There's some in the. I think that alternate there floated too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
Actually, yeah. Let me actually fix that.
Is it scrap done?
Unfortunately, but I think there's a little bit more.
Some technical difficulties going on.
All good?
All good.
All right.
Let's
If
do
you
slowly.
say so.
Let's slowly. We'll replant. Worst comes to worst.
This is the longest and most boringest part. You're good?
Looking good so far. I'm gonna give a little side view for the audience.
You know, it's probably the most boring, but also the most nerve-wracking if everything starts to float up or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I'm very nervous.
Oh, the Ultum Nature in the back floated. You want me to stop? Right here. Let me see it. Your substrate doesn't look flat anymore.
I know, it's all over the place. It's gonna be tricky. Alright, we shall fix the substrate after. Whoa, 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 whoa. That happens, guys. Things will uproot. Obviously, it can be prevented if you have a thicker substrate. Cut the portions of the Monte Carlo to be a little smaller as well. It could have been smaller. Lesson learned.
Now, do you want me to fill all the way, or just like? Because you're still pulling out the wood, right?
I won't put the wood still. I think I'm gonna add the sand, maybe
Another day.
another day, just because the water is still not at its 100% clearest.
Yeah.
So once it actually settles overnight, all the little dust and dirt that you still see floating, it's still gonna fall down. So if we add sand prematurely, it would be
Oh, I see. So
it'd get
you wanna add
dirty.
it later, yeah.
Yeah.
So fill to the top, basically.
Fill
And
to
set
the
up.
top.
Okay.
You can set up the filter. Because my shallow tank that I've set up at home still doesn't have sand yet. I'm gonna do that at the end. I'm just gonna replant this.
You gonna fix the substrate now too, or?
I'm gonna start fixing the substrate. You're gonna get the filter set up, right?
Yes.
I will start touching up the sand.
All right.
Where is the shovel? So unfortunately, the soil doesn't look as neat as it did originally. We're gonna fix it up. Even it out a bit. This tool's very helpful. So Tom right now is setting up the filtration.
Getting it ready at least.
I fixed this part up.
So while Anthony's doing that, let me show you guys real quick the filtration that we're deciding to use. This is the Filter Smart 100, like I mentioned earlier in this live stream. Just gonna open it up and show you guys what's inside. So this one does come with a heater. We're actually not going to use the heater because we keep the room temperature of the store, somewhere about 26 degrees Celsius. So that means the tanks are already sitting around 24 degrees, meaning we don't need a heater technically. So I'm just going to remove the heater like so. And now it comes with 3 components. And this was the heater slot there, and this is the heater so it doesn't touch anything else in the tray. We're going to remove that completely. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stuff the side of the heater with biomedia. And yeah, we'll see what that looks like in a second.
So I'm currently replanting some of the carpet that has lifted, unfortunately. All that hard work that we spent planting this. It's okay. It's gonna grow out. The main goal right now is essentially just to get it into the ground. It hasn't rooted itself yet. In a few weeks, this thing is gonna start slowly taking over and essentially filling up the foreground. Once this starts rooting, we're gonna be good. This guy looks like it's gonna root if I don't put it any deeper. It's okay for it to not be perfect right away. It grows in nicely. I know some people might be picky out there and want perfection instantly. It's okay to make mistakes. That happens. The foreground of this substrate is actually pretty thin, which does make planting a little bit more difficult. I didn't want it to be too thick because I didn't want it to overpower the aesthetic of this design.
That's your fault. So we can be okay because I'm not involved.
I'm not sure if I'm blocking anything. Cool. Alright. A nice little setup going on.
So just to show you, I filled this side with biomedia, right? And we're just gonna...
Tom, what biomedia is this? Is your own?
This is our own, yeah. So we sell this in the store we sell it for by the weight, sorry. So a quarter bag of this guy will cost you $2. I use my own. I didn't decide to go for the stock ones that came with the box just because these ones, I believe, will house more bacteria because it contains more pores. And if you guys want to know a little bit more into detail, I did release a video on how to keep your water clear, crystal clear. It's on our channel already, so make sure you watch that.
Good to know. I use the stock media,
Yeah.
and
You can even use like Matrix. I've heard good things about that as well.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, now we just put everything back in. And that's it. Now we're gonna connect the tubing, and ultimately I think we're gonna have it on the back left corner of that tank. So yeah, we're just gonna connect the inlet and the outlet pipe, and you guys will see that now.
I'm just fixing some of the plants back here.
So if you guys were wondering what that was, my dog bit my other dog.
They're just playing.
Yeah, you can call it playing, sure. Can you just put them in the back? Yeah. Alright, so we're plugging the heater area. But later we're going to have to open this up to fill it with water to get it to go. And now I'm just going to add the little stands in the legs. And that's it. We're ready to set up the filter. We'll probably have it closer to the top area. Something along that lines there. If you guys see it, we put the filter inside the cabinet there, and we're gonna run the tubing at the top outside the back. Make sure you have some cutting scissors if you are using a canister filter like this. The tubing is quite hard. You might be able to get away with some hard scissors, but we use tubing or tube cutters, which looks something like this guy right here. And essentially you just bring it in and you clamp it down. Right, so first off we want to measure the distance. Do the inflow first. Oh, wait. You do not want to forget about the lock nuts. So this guy right here is going to secure it onto the canister filter. Oh wait, it doesn't go on here. It goes on here. Just like so. Now the tubing goes on, and now you're going to twist that lock nut to secure the tubing. And that's it. Now I'm going to run the tubing to the back over there. Awesome. So for those of you guys wondering, we're going to be using the Neoflow. This is an additional add-on. It's basically called an inlet or an outlet pipe, or inflow or outflow pipe. So this is the kit right here. We're going to go ahead and attach the inflow first. And they gave us some tools to do that. So this right here is just going to clip along the glass, right? And then this piece will hold the flow or the tubing onto it. You guys will see what I mean in a second. The filter, that canister filter costs $164.99. struggling a little bit to put this plastic screw on here, but I'm determined.
I can't believe it's been 2 hours.
I know, man.
Holy. That's crazy. I'm very excited to see all this grow out.
100%.
Very fun.
Do we have pliers up here?
Pliers? You got the cutter here.
Question from Justin, is the inflow outflow made out of plastic?
The inflow and outflow is made of plastic, correct. It's actually really bendable. You can see them bending it right now. So the chances of this thing breaking is slim to none. However, I am having issues trying to get this piece in there. It's just so tight here. It shouldn't be like that. Ugh. I'm gonna need to try another bracket in the meantime because this one is giving me trouble.
No worries.
Hopefully this one will be better. Much better. It just goes right through. Don't want to lose something so small. All right. So Anthony, where do you want the placement?
Go with the back there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So I'm just shining some light. How's it looking with the light on, guys? It's not too bright. Yeah.
You got a question.
Okay.
What filtration do you require that's cost effective and not too expensive?
It depends. So the question was, what filtration is cost effective and what? Not too expensive?
That you require that's cost effective, yeah.
Honestly, you can use any filtration. Just know that the more filtration or the more that filter can filter would be better for any tank. Like for the example, this is a 9-gallon tank. We used a 30-gallon filter for this tank, right? You want to at least try to double the filter or filtration as much as possible, in my opinion. That way your water will cycle much faster. Alright, Where's that skimmer? The height. Hey, you know what this is for? No, doesn't look like anything.
Not that I know of. You know?
Alright.
Unless, you know, it's an extension of just.
No, I don't think so. Okay. Just hold
Keep
on
it
to
just in
yeah,
case.
just keep on to it. Alright, you guys, so I just finished setting up the skimmer. This is how it looks. I'm going to be attaching this piece right here into the inflow, if you guys can see. Just like so. And I believe it just sits on top of the water like that. And that's it. Now I gotta set up the outlet side and cut the tubing. Tubing is cut. Possible doing everything back here.
I'm going to camera towards Tom.
There we go.
Alright. Cute, cute. It's a very small skimmer. It doesn't take up too much space, which is great.
Not at all, no.
Yeah,
And we can turn this whenever we feel like it.
I'm a fan. I'm about it.
Just looks like this. There we go.
So we're gonna try to be careful with the flow as well. I feel like if it goes against the glass here, it might push the water down and maybe dig up some of our carpeting. Tom has aimed the outflow towards a piece of wood, so that might kind of that might break the flow a bit.
We can try to turn it a little bit later. I haven't really set in stone which way the flow is going.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But you can put a lighting on it now.
Let's do it. Let's see how the light looks. For those who didn't catch it before, this is a twin star light. Very thin, but super strong. Water is still a little bit murky, but after a couple water changes, it should be crystal clear. That's going to be the goal that we're aiming towards.
With water changes and everything over time. Gotta make sure everything's tight, you guys, or things will fall apart. Alright, now the outflow pipe. You think I should have made the tubing longer?
That's all. That's fine. I'm just making sure it's a little tighter.
I got
It's a little bit looser here. That should be fine. 'Cause my tank at home is the tubing's a little bit too long. I'm gonna have to fix it too, right? I never cut it too short because I'm always afraid that I can't bring it back.
Yeah.
So I always leave too much of an extra space. I do prefer to have it more seamless. The nanofish that we're gonna put in here are gonna be it's gonna be fun to photograph. Sorry guys, Tom is just doing some adjustments on his inflow pipe right now. So give us some time. If you guys have any questions, let us know.
Sorry about that, you guys. I've been dealing with some thread issues. And we know when it comes to plastic threads, they don't really work the best. So I have to get pliers to actually screw it through. But we're almost done setting up. Darn plastic, huh?
That's just a little tricky, eh?
It's sometimes they don't do it right.
It does have that stick to it.
Yeah. We're almost done, guys, I swear. And we're done.
Hey. Alright.
Oh, the tubing's pretty long. I gotta cut it. Oh, this. So it turns out we had lots of tubing left over, right, which came from the package. Tubing is too long. This thing is stripped. I'm gonna fix it tomorrow. But for now, it is what it is, and it's good enough. So
I'm gonna push this tubing in a bit, just so I don't get anxiety looking at it.
all right.
We're almost done, guys. Almost done.
So just to show you guys, the tubing loops through the back here, just like so, and it leads to the pipes. And that's how the pipes are currently sitting. We're gonna make sure to straight by next time, but we're not gonna focus on fixing too much of the small imperfections now because the stream's gonna be longer than expected. But we're gonna turn the pump on and see what it looks like.
Did you put water in the pump yet?
Nope.
You have a light by any chance? Still good, still good. I can see
You can hear it.
it. Yeah, good, good.
Ready for this looking good, guys.
Thank you. Alright. Almost done.
Time to plug this bad boy in. You want to control that flow. Make sure you aim it somewhere you want it to. Loop this under there for me later.
Underneath?
Yeah, the black curtain. Loop it in. Actually, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it, yeah.
Cool. Alright, Tom's about to plug in the filter. Let's see how this does. Tom, we messed up.
Why?
The outflow is the inflow is the outflow.
Are you serious?
I believe so.
No.
This part was sucking in water earlier. Yeah, it's sucking in water. It's sucking in water.
Wait, no. I don't believe you. Here, give me your phone. Apparently, I put the inflow and outflow and outflow and inflow. In is on the far side. God dang it. God dang it.
Okay, it happens.
It's an easy switch anyway.
I'm gonna fix these floating plants back here. Give it a little trim.
Need a bucket.
Did you just trim something?
I just trimmed one of the Monte Carlos.
I gotcha.
Yeah, we practiced actually. Sorry, Tom.
No worries.
Quick switch? Yeah? Yeah, actually I have to switch twice. I've done it five times now.
Oh yeah?
It's so annoying, bro.
There we go. Is that how you want the flow to go?
Yeah.
Hit the wood more or less. Alright, the moment of truth.
Alright, let's see how it is. Let's see how it is. There you go. Oh. Alright. Oh, that's so cool. It's supposed to be spinning the water around?
No, it's supposed to be still in the water.
Sucking it in, right? I think it's because of the flow. It's pushing it upward.
Ah, I see.
So it's push that plastic part out.
It's hard to see the glare from the light.
So you guys can't see it? Oh, that should be fine. Okay. There you go. There you go. It's sucking it.
There you go.
Alright, just the camera so you can see. So far, so good. See the light.
So there you go. That's the Neoflow, and that's the skimmer on top, skimming whatever is on the surface back into the water column there. And that is it, you guys. We finished the tank. All that's left is the CO2, but since we're using Aquarium Neo CO2, which is this bottle right here, we can't set it up until tomorrow technically, so the job for today is pretty much done. Next time we live stream, we're going to talk about the updates on the tank, show you guys how the Monte Carlo grew in, and hopefully at that time too, Anthony's going to be able to fill the middle area with sand. And yeah. We'll probably micromanage adjust it till we find the perfect rate.
Yeah.
But we can also control the flow underneath as well. But let me get one last view of the tank for you guys before we end off the stream tonight. I'm excited to add some livestock to this tank as well, so if you guys have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. It is a 9-gallon tank, and we're hoping to do a nano community tank.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone who has made it this far to this journey of our Livescaping project.
Alright, you guys, so we're probably going to end it here. Just wanted to thank you guys again for tuning into the 2-hour stream that we had. It was a little bit longer than we expected just because we ran into a little bit of complications while setting up the aquarium, but at least that way you guys can see what it's actually like setting up an aquarium. Nothing's perfect. You're going to have mistakes, and it's all with patience, right? Watching your plants grow over time and recovering those mistakes is a great feeling. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can follow Anthony on @Buoyscapes. That's @BUISCAPE with an S.
Yes.
Buoyscapes with an S at the end. And obviously you can follow me on Instagram. I'm Planted Tom. If you guys haven't already followed our Instagram page for the store, make sure you do that as well. plantedaquaria.ca is our Instagram page. We're going to be posting updates about this tank, hopefully every day or every other day. And yeah, that's it for the stream, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.